square in Dungannon, and that's where what I was thinking of. That was at the top of Scott Street and Irish Street and Church Street all come together. Then right to the back was Market Square, and that was where the Poor Ross Road was, and O'Neill's Castle. And I never was in the place. It was away back at Market Square. That's where Shane O'Neill and all these Irish chieftains took, you know, lived there. And there's two things I used to do I can remember. I'd be going to school in the morning. I'd go down Church Street, and then at the square, these farmers were in a big carts of apples. I'd pick one up for my lunch. I used to, just about every time I got a chance to you know, to get an apple, I got one. And then another thing, my uncle was a grocery store on Church Street. Their name was Reynolds Grocery. And they had, you know, big grocery stores, like a supermarket. And they'd always set out apricots, these wooden boxes, apricots and prunes, and front, you know, up in front of this. Every time I went over there, I took a handful of prunes.
You ever pay for them?
No, I didn't, because I didn't have any money to pay for them. And they looked so good. I don't think it even bothered them.
Who did you live by?
Huh?
You remember that? You lived with your uncle.
I lived with my uncle.
Who lived near you?
Oh, you know, I didn't know anybody. When I lived with my uncle in Shamble Lane, we lived in Shamble Lane, that's where I had the measles. Tom and I had the measles at the same time, because what my mother did, she pulled all the shades down and she gave us each a spoonful of whiskey. And boy, did we blossom out. That was on Shamble Lane. But
What happened to your knee?
well, my uncle, this attorney where I live, you know, every night they'd put on some, they called it porridge, oatmeal. They'd cook some oatmeal and be hanging up from the chimney on a chain, and the fire was turf fire underneath it. So when I come in, I'd sit on a stool, and then they'd set the pot of porridge or oatmeal on the stone floor they had. And one night, and had a half a bowl of buttermilk. They always give me they used buttermilk all the time. I would reach my spoon down, you know, to put it in the bowl, and one night it went at my knee instead of the bowl, and I burned it something terrible. And my uncle, he wouldn't take me down. They had an infirmary down there, and he started treating it with what they call black soap. I know, and maybe they got black soap here, I'm not sure. But anyhow, he's done that, and it wouldn't heal up. So finally, he had to take it down to the infirmary, and then they fixed it. Boy, it was right in my teeth. I think that's the mark of it. In Dungannon, there was my mother's sister, Rose, married Charles Cullen.
That wasn't your mother's sister, that was your dad's sister.
Charles Cullen, yeah.
That was your dad's sister.
Hmm?
Your
My dad's sister, yeah. And my dad was working for the Cullens. He'd work in the shop, and they had a butcher shop on Scott Street. He worked in the shop, and he'd go to fairs and drive cattle home. So one day he was driving a bunch of cattle home. He got soaking wet, and he didn't change his clothes right away, and he got pneumonia. and that's what done him in. That's, but then there was the two McElhones in Dungannon. There was James. He owned an off-sale liquor store on Irish Street. Maggie McElhone had on the same street had a tobacco and candy store on Irish Street. And that's the only two outside of Charles Cullen. But my mother told me once that the one that she liked best was Paddy. I never knew Michael, and I didn't know Paddy, but my mother told me that the only one that she really liked was Paddy Cullen. So I don't know what happened to him where he passed away.
Well, maybe Jim.
But no, I know them McElhone. I was a loner in that. But then the school, I went to St. Patrick's School when I lived with my uncle on Shamble Lane. My uncle Thomas, his name is Tierney. That's my brother, my mother's brother. And
I thought you lived with Uncle Andy.
our Uncle Andy, maybe it was Andy. It's Andy and Thomas.
I think it was Andy.
He had another, it must have been Andy. Thomas must have been a farmer.
Yeah.
In the summertime, I'd go out to their farm and I'd go out and help them, not cut the turf. I'd help them pack it on to dry on the side of the bog. And I didn't live with him. I just went there for a week during school time.
Well, you lived with Andy.
I lived with Andy on Shamble Lane till I don't know of anything else.
Your mother was in Belfast at the time?
Yeah, my mother went to Belfast with Tommy. When I lived with Uncle Andy. He took me in. My mother left me there